All right. Now there we go. There we go. Let's just turn these main speakers down. I don't think fucking whole neighborhood needs to hear this shit. All right. Human, what's up, my brother? It's good to see you. Be in the house. Human says, I think that the RE the poll, Trump will survive or live through the midterms, but then after that, Vance will bring the 25th. Yeah, I thought, I honestly thought that maybe like before the election or right after that it would come, that Vance would try and, am I coming through all right? Yeah, I think so. Am I going to have to fucking swallow this mic? Hey, who am I? That's right, Donald Trump. So I think that I thought Vance, Trump's loony. For Christ's sake, I was thinking earlier about that son of a bitch standing there dancing for 40 minutes on stage. You know what I mean? It's just fucking crazy. Dis, what's up, sister? Dis says, Jay in the house. Dis says, posting the Eagles, something I never thought I'd see from you. I'm 54 years old. I am not a big Eagles fan. There's some shit from them guys that I just love like that too, and it's just tasty, right? Jay says, have you tried a side chain compression for ducking the bass on the kick drum and also gating each drum independently makes a huge drum sound? Oh, yeah, no, Jay, usually with my drum tracks, it's all like I just go find tracks that I can use, and sometimes I'll grab like a 40-second drum loop that maybe has some fills in it or whatever, and I might just take 5 seconds of that, get it to the speed I need it. Usually I try not to have to change the speed at all, and then just sit there and loop it till the next drum piece. Yeah, I need to learn how to start building my drum tracks one drum at a time. But man, dude, I'd never get anything done if I had to sit there and make my drum tracks myself. I mean, I chop them up and do a lot of editing on the drum loops that I use license-free drum loops from Looperman, but yeah, Jay, I forgot what it was the other day. I started getting in. I'm like, why are all my fucking original videos just so fucking bassy? I mean, they don't necessarily sound like that or I don't feel like they're that bassy when I'm recording the shit. But then after I post it, I don't know. Oh, yeah. I gotcha. Jay says bass and kick drum occupy the same planes in the EQ. Sure. Kate, what's up, sister? Just says planned event, the truth about New Jersey's drone UFOs. I will check that. I just spent some time a little while ago and talking with the host of one of those drone streams. He's got one of the ones. Oh yeah. That's funny, Dis. I just watched that today. Yeah. Yeah. I would have to go back and re-listen, but I know that dude is like a PSYOP specialist. You guys should check out the link that Dis posted. I actually watched that dude this morning. That same fucking post. Um, he's like a psyop specialist. Like he trains corporations in subliminal messaging and that sort of stuff, right? So he has an interesting take on it, though I don't agree with everything he said. I think he's at. I think I can't recall. There was some part that I was like, he went a little bit far for me, but I agree that they aren't a threat. I'm certainly not opposed to the idea that this is a test to see how we handle it. I mean, and I'll give you one good reason why. And I'm not sure if it was this cat because I've been watching so much of that shit. I haven't done any of the fucking drone streams and shit, any of that chaos until today. I mean, I wasn't even interested in the crap because it was just like, all right, so there's a bunch of fucking drones flying around. People are fucking around, or the government's doing something that they can't tell us about. Not a big deal, right? But it's the fact that the government has for 70 years, you guys, denied any sort of alien, and I'm not against the thought of extraterrestrial beings either being out there or have visited. I am not saying that it has happened by any means whatsoever. We just can't say that. But for 70 years, the government has denied that there is anything like that. And now all of a sudden, 2 years ago, they start showing us motherfucking Air Force fighter jet footage cockpit footage of Tic Tacs flying around and telling us they have no idea what the hell's going on. They can't even compare to the movements these things are making. You know what I mean? So it is a little bit strange. Laura, what's up, sister? Yeah, Jay says the UFO channels are streaming hard right now. Yeah, Laura says I'm not freaking out over damn drones. I am not either. I don't really have much of opinion on it, what they're up there for until because there is a few possibilities. Most likely though, it's gonna be completely boring explanation. And if we don't get any information at all, I won't be surprised. So I was able to still walk around my house and yard freely today. What the fuck are you guys doing up here all the time lately? Huh? Come on, jump up here. All right, go on, Roxy. You're a pain. Don't start fucking looking for shit to chew on or I'll beat you. Yeah, just says the drone videos are all crap uploaded by amateurs with no knowledge. Yeah, exactly. It's like I've read some pretty quacky comments, but I mean, are any of you guys surprised that there's people in hysterics out there over this? Probably not, right? Am I that dark? Oh, don't look too bad. Roxy is my hound dog, our female. Come here. She won't jump up on my lap though. She's just too mellow of a dog. She's gonna lay down now. And we have Roscoe, her 3-year younger half brother. Do you got any decent footage? You got my email, right, sister? You can send me the shit. I don't, you know how I am. I just discern. You know what I mean? I'm someone who has to have something I can basically hold in my hand, right? Something substantial. You know what I mean? But I don't discount anything. I mean, until it's proven or disproven, I'm just pretty much neutral. But I would love to see anything you have, and I promise not to make fun of it or nothing. I assumed they were just as I assumed they were some sort of police drones. I was I would never worried about I was never worried about them, but noted to my friends that there were so many of them. Yeah, I have no idea. There's obviously a few plausible theories, and that the government is searching for something that they cannot or don't want to tell us about. Not that it's a threat, just there may if they tell us, look, if let's say that the government is looking for something, you decide whatever it is, someone, something, and it's not necessarily about what it is that they're looking for, but they can't maybe they can't um, reveal too much information in that regard because it'll give away the processes of how they do some things that they don't want out there, right? So that's my thoughts on that. Oh, do we got another? Do we have? Is one of my fanboys here? Oh, it's Dave and Callie. Yeah. My mouse is all funky. You guys can go ahead. Somebody can. Oh, here I go. Maybe I got it. Yeah. That wasn't a waste of an account, huh, Dave and Callie? Is John here? Because I can't see him. That's not, I hate to, that's not going to last. Wow. The balls of that son of a gun. All I want to do. Sorry, I'm trying to get through my windows here. I should have got closer to my should have got closer to my monitor. All right, maybe I misread something. I thought Kate told John to shut up. It's like I can't believe that son of a bitch has come by. I don't even want to get going on that. I just want to make sure that my chat was cleared from any nonsense. Yeah, so Dis, if you want, you could send me any footage that you have. It's up to you. I won't. I don't have to. I can give you credit for the footage, or I don't have to. Whatever you want. Yeah, there's no way I am getting an auto driving vehicle, or I'm not letting an automatically driving vehicle drive me around. That's for sure. it. I'm trying to do a stream here. I know, whatever. She's yawning at me. I got you, Dis. Yeah. Uh, if you do get anything you want to share, sister, you know you can. I'm all about that. You know what I thought was one of the most interesting parts, you guys, was some of them looked like they were manned um, drones. And I know I've watched a lot of cool videos on just like flying cars and stuff, like the technology of it. That shit is so fucking cool. That's probably the only way that I'm ever going to fly unless there's a really, really good reason that I have to get into a plane, like either to make money or that's probably about it. I would so get in. I would, if I could learn to pilot one of those things safely myself, slowly, right? Hell yeah. Those things look cool. Seriously, like just, I swear we talked about this before, and one of the coolest meditation practices that I learned was when I was a kid in school, like a young kid in elementary school, and one of our teachers just got us imagining ourselves in this bubble floating around. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be the way to travel. Just have my own little fucking bubble, basically. That's what a drone is. Like a passenger drone would just be the neatest goddamn thing because you could have parachutes for safety, right? Like if, because that's the thing, like if something fucking conks out, you're screwed. You're not falling 30,000 feet from a DeSoto, right? But if you got, and you can't, you know, passenger airliners or whatever can't have parachutes for safety. But a drone can. If you started to fall out of the sky with a drone, a passenger drone, absolutely they could have parachutes that would at least keep you from bouncing around too hard. Human says, here's a theory about the drones. They're night testing new ones, and it's proprietary tech, and that's why they can't really say. Yeah, human, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. It's just some sort of process or mission that for whatever reason they just, because there's something, them disclosing, hey, it's just us up here flying drones, then it's going to lead to more questions or whatever, to shit that they don't want to share right now. Sure, like just whatever, patent protection possibly, or even if it has anything to do with the military, that for security reasons or whatever. James, what's up, my brother? Good to see you. All right. What was I doing here? Oh yeah, don't forget to hit that thumbs up or down. Share with those you love and those you don't, and subscribe if you haven't already. Dave and Callie has been busy. The stream yesterday had 11 thumbs up, but it was only 40%. So there's a lot of angry chuds out there that are slapping the thumbs down on my streams, but I that's good. I'm okay with that. You guys just heard me. I invite that. I'm inviting them to come and do the thumbs down. We talked about Trump failing to already admitting that he will probably likely fail on cutting grocery costs. And I honestly, I would think that would have been the easier one. Like he'd never, I don't think he ever said how much he was going to cut groceries or food bills, folks' food bill by. So I would think that would have been the easier one for him to go ahead and just try and hang on to. Whereas he literally promised over and over that he would slash our energy costs by 50% as opposed to just bringing down the cost of food, right? Because, I mean, fuck, if he brought down, if he was able to prove, hey, I brought down food by 1 fucking percent, or I brought down this can of green beans, you know, in the summer of 2024 was $1.09 and now it's $1.08 under me, that's a win for him, right? But that's not how he, but because it's all bullshit, it was all, he doesn't think about that, right? Like if he was honest at all and truly wanted to, cared about the prices of shit and cared about a real working solution to bring down prices, which there just isn't, not at the level he's fucking spewing, that he would do that. But no, so he's gonna go ahead and stick to cutting our energy costs by 45 or 50%, even though he's already said he won't be able to bring down grocery prices. So and you know the thing is it's a little deflating because it's like none of us ever thought that he was going to be able to accomplish this shit. But it's like, God damn it, what a dick, you know? Because it would be cool to have a little bit of a break on some of the energy costs. Gas isn't a big deal, or hasn't been for a while now around here. Most of this year, gas was pretty reasonable. But our electric bills are high, you know? Can you guys hear the dogs barking? My son's probably home. Kid's probably back. Can you guys hear the dogs barking a little bit? I was watching my monitor, my indicators, my input. It was moving a little bit when Roscoe would bark. Roxy don't bark. She just stands out there and wags her tail while Roscoe flips out. Pro, what's up, my brother? I'm wondering if aliens are gonna help us bring down the cost of energy. Maybe that's what Trump's plan was, that they're gonna be what do they call that? Zero energy, whatever. Maybe Trump has connections with the fucking lizard dudes, the draconians, right? I mean, look, if Trump was going to be in cahoots with one of the alien civilizations, would it not be the human flesh-eating lizard guys that live in Antarctica, 10 feet tall or whatever? Bill, what up? Zero point energy. Yeah. Thanks, human. But maybe that's it. Maybe Trump has connections with the Zeta, Beta, off draconian lizard guys that live in Antarctica. You know, NATO tells me that they have indoor sun down there in Antarctica, in Middle Earth. Center Earth? Center Earth, I think. Was it Holland, you dickweed? That's all it was, wasn't it? Get out of there. Who is reporting on the cloning in the Mar-a-Lago dungeons? I haven't heard that one yet. Why would anybody clone Trump? Dis says, I think it's more likely these drones are Elon created for Donald to help spur him and restrict freedoms further. Well, I can, we've, I think we talked about that on one of the recent previous streams that Trump's going to need a really good reason to enact martial law, right? I mean, look, the longer this shit goes on, the more I am able to kind of calm down, and we have, it doesn't mean that shit isn't going to get really, really sucky, right? Under Trump, certainly with cost. Let's just, I mean, I'm not going to work myself up any more than I already have about it, but I mean, and that's not to say that we don't have reason to be concerned. So don't get me wrong. I'm not beating up on anybody that's like irate and worried and pissed off, because I feel you. But thankfully, we are such a large country that Trump is going to have to do some major fucking off to try and take control physically of our country. It just, you know what, too? When it comes down to it, a lot of these fucking big mouth, tough guy, fucking Trumper rednecks, if it came down to them going out into the street now and having to fucking shoot every goddamn liberal that they come across, it's not going to happen. A lot of them are going to be like, this isn't America. I was thinking, Human says, imagine Marjorie Taylor Greene as ambassador to Mexico. I was thinking as ambassador to Germany or something would be cool. Or maybe Israel. Italy. Someplace, connective, like with the space lasers or the Gazpacho police. James says, next week I'm tax evading. You get to be an ambassador. Human says should disappear quick. Oh, I don't know why I found that so funny, but it is. Yeah, yeah. Mexico has some sketchy places. Let's send her there. Bill says some of those mobility scooters do 30 miles per hour. Right. You have to get off it, and you have to get off it and walk at some point, right? How's our poll doing, you guys? Will Trump live past 2026 midterms? 43% of you say yes. 57% of you say no. 14 votes in total so far. We'll keep that up. I was off my game after the election, but I'm starting to get my wheels back under me, you guys. I was getting it. I mean, I was in the fucking zone with all those rallies, whether it was a Trump rally or Harris, walls rally, whatever, right? And I started getting into the polls, which I have to thank Bill for keeping that in the front of my mind with the polls thing. It's fun. James says it's possible Marjorie Taylor Greene will be appointed ambassador to yo-yos. Yo-yosamite. Oh man, that's it's good that we can laugh, but it's serious. This is the fucking Republican Party. They fucking voted a rapist who, Jesus Christ, I mentioned it last night. It's like, fuck, can you guys imagine? Trump fucking fucked up shit from 2016 to 2020, or at least thoroughly bad at the end of his first term, right? He fucked shit up thoroughly at the end of his first term. You guys know me. I don't fucking kiss liberal ass, or, you know what I mean? Anybody's. I said over and over I did not have words, and I was so thankful for what an amazing rock and job having someone like Biden in the presidency at that time was, it's still thinking about that gives me hope. Like, well, because a lot of us aren't like godly people, right? Necessarily, some of us are, and I'm just saying, did God frown on us? No, he didn't. You know what I mean? Biden has, he'll still go down. This will be one of the most historic and strongest, greatest, impactful, pivotal administrations in our history. And I think this coming second Trump term will only solidify Biden's place in history. You know what I mean? Like, it's just gonna really, you're gonna have this you got fucking Trump administration, Biden, and then Trump, right? It's like, the contrast is gonna be impossible to ignore ever, if it isn't already. All right, Kate, we loves your sister. Be good. Whoosh. Kate Broom hanging out with us again, even though it's probably, midnight-ish her time. Over there in beer country, where they got all the good groovy Christmas shit going on. B says AI President Chats just dropped a new vid. Pretty funny channel worth a watch. AI Presidents Chat. There was some other one, cartoony thing. I'm still subscribed to Scared Ketchup, even though I get so many notifications every day from all the channels I'm sub to. And then just watching the shit that I really need to watch and read. I hardly have time anymore. Jay says it's up to us to get the numbers on January 20th, 25, and repeat them every day. Exactly. I am with you, brother. It is, what is it, November 3rd, 2026 is our midterm election. Let's see. Let's scroll through some calendar stuff here. Yes, November 3rd, 2026. It sucks. I can't believe I haven't got laughed at by any chuds recently, but I keep bringing that up. Like, I'm like, if we win the midterms, count on impeachment number 3 coming in 2027. And it's like, yeah, that's a little ways off. But the sun won't stop rising. Unless it stops rising, then we don't have to fucking worry about presidential elections anyways. We'll have much bigger things, like kissing our loved ones goodbye for the last time. I'm Mr. Positive tonight, ain't I? Dark Brandon is pretty good. He is. I wasn't the biggest Joe fan. I had two more people I would have voted for in the primaries in 2020. Yeah, I'm still just really it's just the American people are very disappointing. And I'm not I mean I'm just as pissy about the folks that didn't show up to vote, though I can't hang on that because there's been times that I haven't voted. But it should have just been it shouldn't even have come down to a few million votes anyways. It should have been a fucking landslide in the first place. But so it's pretty disgusting, but look, it's all we can do is hope that the thing is for me too, it's very hard to imagine that shit can get any stupider or more fucking clownerific than it has and will somehow still change Republican voters' minds or Trump supporters, right? You guys know what I'm saying? Like, what does it? Why? What else can we pile? What else can we put on this motherfucker? Or what else can he fucking be brought out into the light on that would fucking somehow? Oh well, yeah, he raped a few people and he evaded taxes and he staged a coup, a failed coup, and but just this thing about lying to us about fucking dropping our grocery prices was fucking just too much, right? That was the straw. Is that going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back? What the fuck? What am I missing? That's fucking crazy. Shame says this every year. Mr. Wallet gets sad at this. This says, I want to compliment 2020 how she handled herself in the Senate was a massive draw for me. Yeah, she really, and I'll admit, this makes a good point there. I'll admit that was not well enough aware of what a fucking rock she was and a force she was in the Senate. But, it didn't change my mind. I still have full faith in her. I don't see her running again in 2028. Who knows? I've already set my sights on Whitmer. We'll see if that happens or not. I think it could. She will have served her 2 terms as governor here in Michigan by then, and will have a full 2 years to prepare for an election. I have to say, and I don't know if this sounds bad, you guys, if it because you know my heart, and you know how much I love the women in my life, including some of you ladies. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I was going to say, are we ready to vote? Are we ready to elect a female president? And was Harris just not the right choice for it just wasn't her time or whatever the fucking, I think, I don't see it like that, but are we ready to elect a white woman president? I don't know. And should I even be asking myself that question when it comes down to it? Because shouldn't I just be focused on who I think is the best candidate, right? And that's going to be tough because anyways, right? I mean, best candidate is kind of a misnomer, right? Because it's just there's a lot of good candidates, and to say one is better than all the rest is impossible. It just isn't. I don't even think it's a reality. Just says this is what I have learned about populism. It is in a time of populism, trust the woman, the men lose their heads. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I try to think of myself as look, I get that men can be or at least if you look at our history, the country's run by men and we seem to get into a lot of fucking shit. There's no way to prove that would be any different under women leadership, but I'm all for it. I'm all ready. You guys know I am. Because and I'll tell you why, not because of anything like populism or statistics in history, but because what I've seen in my family from the women in my family. You know what? 100%. 100%. I mean, that's 100% on where my faith is in women is because what I've experienced personally, not to say that there's anything wrong or that looking at these different things like that just suggested isn't helpful and positive, but for sure. No, right on. Just says I mean that in a general sense. No, I know you're not beating up on all guys. I know you love us men. Some of us. Maybe not me, but James and Jay and Bill and Human. Yeah, I don't know. Well, the thing is Dis says men turn into scared, whiny babies in a time of populism. They believe liars and fools too easily. Well, again, to say men, that's not. And I know you didn't say all men, but it's still kind of putting us in a box. And I don't know how to separate other than there's just really look, I live around them. I live around these white, middle-aged, middle-class, Midwestern. They look, sound just like me, right? Well, not sound necessarily. They're just like selfish and uneducated, and I don't know honestly, is it because their parents were too fucking closely related? And I say that jokingly, but at the same time I don't. I just cannot help but think there has to be some sort of there has to be a rational reason why some, and it's mostly white men, but not all, that are supporters of Trump, right? And we'll look at someone like Vivek, right? Or Kash Patel, right? Or whoever that fucking black dude and where was it, North Carolina or whatever down south there that is doing the fucking KKK porn thing or whatever, or the Nazi porn thing. How can you explain that? You know what I mean? That's I don't think that applies to most of society. I love you too, Des. I do. I love you. I really do care about you guys. If there's ever any doubt, you can just ask Mrs. V. They're easily wound up too. Yeah. Well, I'm easily wound up sometimes. People think I am, but this is me 24/7, and I wonder why I have a hard time sleeping. Yeah, who was that? Just says, what's the Nazi porn thing? Who was the guy? Do you guys know? Somebody knows who I'm talking about. He was a lieutenant governor, maybe, or who was the big black fella that was pretending to be trans or something like that on a Nazi porn site? I don't know. Somebody will answer. Patty, what's up, sister? But they mostly seem to be just God. I could give so many examples. I just hate really giving them any sort of shout out at all, negative or positive. But like, I could just use a few examples of some Trump chatters that I know probably are married and have been for a long time, and you have to wonder what in the fuck is going on in that house in 2024 or 2025. Why are there any women putting up with that kind of shit at all? I mean, it's just clear these fellas are fucking at least verbally abusive, right? Just says, oh, that weird creep, he got the head of HUD position. Did he? Oh, I don't know. I thought, remember, yeah, Trump, the guy I'm thinking of, Trump, like, totally didn't want, he finally stopped acknowledging him towards the end of the campaign or something. Yeah, but Dis says I'd wager their wives are miserable, but it's like if you're a Gen Xer or younger, how are you not standing up for yourself? 29 votes. Will Trump live past 2026 midterm? Yes, 69%. No, 31. The poly markets have him dying in less than a year. I don't know. I'm just quoting James. I don't know if that was a real one or not. I want to thank you guys for all hanging out with me. This is good. Gotta stay on this. Gotta keep at it now. I had my little fucking time off after the election, 5 6 weeks. It's time to fucking ride that donkey, donkey, donkey. Yeah, the simps are promoting that trad wife con game. James says, think about one of their highest agendas, transgender, however, children and are killed by guns and never before and nothing. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the problem too, James, with that's another issue that we haven't even you brought it up and or you make I'm not sure if that's how you've seen it or not, but your point, your comment there is right on, but also that's the kind of shit that is just going to be completely ignored because our plate is going to be full with some real tough issues, right? With our national security under Trump and all that good stuff. And we'll definitely be going deeper into why that is just with because of how and how we deal with people like Russia and China and North Korea and how or who we have in those positions dealing with these countries, right? It's going to be a shit show. And so anything to ever get done on protecting our kids is just going to be like not only back burner, it's just going to be put on the fucking shelf somewheres, right? James says he put $100 on it. Oh my God, dude. You kill me sometimes, James. That's funny shit. I hope you get rich, brother. What's the odds anyway? They're probably not very good. It's like real likely that Trump's gonna croak. Putin, what's up, my brother? Cheers to you. Hope the dog sitting is going all good. There was some. God, what else was it?
Media are falling one by one into Trump's.
Crazy. Sorry, was looking around there for a minute. I like BTC pretty much. Oops. God damn it. I just ended that poll. Son of a bitch. Well, anyways, there we go, you guys. 30 votes. 69% said yes, Trump will survive until through the midterms. 39% said no, or 31% said no. He will not survive. And James bet $100 that he wouldn't. So oh, that's good shit. Oh yeah, of course, B. Right now I'm seeing 10 thumbs up. I'll bet you because it doesn't show the thumbs down, but I'll bet you there's more than 10 thumbs down because Sin and Lala and Dave and Callie get all their alt accounts over here, but they don't realize is all that does is help me. 69% yes, 31% no, and James bet $100. Patty Wacker says she's waiting for it to pardon the MAGA militia. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to be another interesting one, Patty. I don't know if Trump will actually bother to start pardoning all those fucking folks convicted. I have a hard time believing that he will. I mean, I don't know. But again, there's nothing that Trump does that surprises me, so. Yeah, Human started out the stream with us, and he said that he thinks that Trump will survive, but that J.D. Vance will bring the 25th after the midterm elections in 2026. Mark Robinson was the Rough Rider, Holy Roader. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, I could not think of his name forever. Putin says the doggy is nexcellent and excellent, I assume he means. That's awesome. I just had the hounds up here, Putin. Not that I invited them up here. They just fucking barge in. I keep my door open because I'm not heating it up here. So I try to get, when I start streaming, I want to get a little bit more. I'm not cold because I got this shirt's actually pretty fucking thermally, and I blasted a shower right before I got up here, and I'm sucking on warm coffee. James says Putin, Devin Nunes appointed intelligence advisory. Holy moly, imagine that shit. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy Jesus Christ. The dude is like Trump has it's clear he just has no idea. He's just like there's no doubt 99% of the Trump picks are someone suggesting to him, right? Like Trump was probably like, "Yeah, we got to give that guy Gates a position, and we got to give, we'll do cash in the fuck." And of course, he probably, honestly, he probably almost forgot about RFK Jr. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll give BJ that position, and then I'll bet it's like for the most part, Trump doesn't give a flying fuck. I'm serious. He didn't even give. I mean, he didn't pick his fucking VP. JD Vance wasn't who Trump wanted. Not at all. Someone talked his ass into that. I mean, Trump's pick for a running mate wouldn't have been better. Not saying that Vance is a great pick, but you know what I mean? Like Trump didn't want fucking Vance. We all know that. Trump Jr. maybe did. No worries. Putin says he had a reboot. Probably yeah, I don't know. Remember how that works? Maybe you're getting a lot of updates and stuff since you have a new rig. Yeah, Putin says Patel used to intern for Nunez, so not surprised, right? James says JD Vance becomes VP because Trump sat on him on the couch. Yeah, a lot of new updates. I thought maybe. Hopefully, I'll be going through that before too long. So far, I'm doing good. I can't fucking keep this my desktop. Well, I haven't been keeping it on. I was able to stream yesterday. Did some shit on it for a few hours afterwards. Then I shut it down. I fired it up at fuck. I don't know what time. 10 o'clock this morning or something. It's been going for about 8 hours, and I haven't had any issues. Putin says he's trying to hear or use his Bluetooth speaker because he can't hear me that well. Right on. Yeah, I thought about that, Putin, like for streaming instead of having these headphones on, because I got a couple Bluetooth speakers I could set in front of me, and then it wouldn't be going right through the system. I don't know if it would. I mean, this mic you have to be on, and so if I have my audio coming at me at this end of the mic, I don't think it. I don't think you guys would be able to hear it or get a loop. Which would be good. All I wanna do is chew some gum. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. So I don't know if you guys are familiar. I should grab the clip. I think I'm probably just gonna. I'll tell you guys a little bit, but I'll probably end up grabbing his whole clip and then maybe do a stream on it tomorrow night or something. But this John Ferguson, and I don't even know all his credentials. Supposedly it was he had was like a government contractor, but had a lot of shitty fucking stupid shit to say. And it was all under the guise of this drone issue, right? But then you get into his fucking, it's not 15 minutes or something, and the son of a bitch is accusing Biden of getting us into war with Russia. And I know that's not like kind of a new narrative for these guys, but it's is what bothers me is these high ranking folks, or these folks in high positions or with power or influence or whatever, or have an audience, right, saying this kind of shit. So I gotta push back. Little old me I have to push back on that shit. So I'll definitely, I mean, it irritated the fuck out of me earlier, so I'll definitely be bringing you guys that sometime this week, hopefully tomorrow. Oh yeah, yeah. We're already looking for 2028 um, possible presidential nominees. Putin, you're it. Rebooting again. Hang in there, brother. We'll be here. Actually, while Putin's rebooting Putin, I'm gonna go see what time is it here. Yeah. Well, the dogs don't usually eat for another 30 minutes, but I think I'm gonna go down and feed the dogs, do a BRB. If you guys are still here when we get back, I'm gonna I'm ready to yap for at least another hour or two, probably a couple hours. But I want to get the dogs settled, and because I know they'd have to be eaten sometime soon. And it's about time for me to do a BRB anyway. So if you're here when we get back, I will be back. If you're not, I appreciate you hanging out, and I will see you soon, okay? But I will be right back. And I'm back. And I don't need my headphones, I guess, right now. I swear my camera keeps dropping. I know it is. So I'm trying to fucking give no crotch shots to the stream. Unless you motherfuckers are paying. Oh, I did have my mic on, damn it. Patty Whackers want to take care of the dogs. James just says, James, glad you got to spend time with your family and enjoy. James says it's hot here today, Putin, 110 degrees. Again, some places in the state even hotter. Human is chilling at a awesome, probably just lovely in the desert, 69 degrees. James says that they record 120 plus degrees near him just recently or today. I am at 38 degrees and foggy. We were cold as fuck and snowy for 3 days. And when I say cold, it was a little nipply. I mean, I can handle some shit here living in West Michigan, right? But it got 12, 13-ish degrees overnight a couple nights in a row. And one day it didn't get above 17. So it's just, it wears on you. But that ain't the end of it. I don't even think, winter doesn't even officially start for like 5 days, so. Yeah. Is it not loud enough? Sure. I did adjust it just recently, Putin, because when I went back and listened to a couple streams right around the election, I'm like, holy fuck, everything was just overloading, right? And I get a little wound up sometimes and start getting loud and proud, but it was just real rumbly and crappy. So I did have my input set at 100%, and then I moved it down, but check. All right. Yeah. Hopefully that's a little better for you, brother. I have to stay on this thing too. I know I turn my head a lot and it'll fade. Or like now if I'm talking to you normally, I'm only getting in the yellow. Hey. Yeah, that's hot. I don't know what to think. I don't pay, we're not that out of ordinary. Like even the couple cold days that we just had isn't. I can't imagine that's very rare. It was chilly and early in the year, but nothing like rare or anything. I doubt so. But it's gonna be in the 40s now for the next couple days, which is way warmer than average, and we're going to have a couple more cold days after that, and then it's going to be right back in the 40s. So it'll be interesting to see how this winter goes. Oh, Putin says he can't use his Wonder Boom since the update. It's frustrating. Human says, I don't know how you do it, TV. Anything below 40 degrees, I can't even function. The teens are a bitch. It sucks going out in it. There's no lie. No fooling around with that, brother. Yeah, when it gets that cold, you stay inside as much as you can. But yeah, like today, it was. But after like 2-3 full days in the teens, right? today when the snow started melting and it was 38, 39 degrees, it was like, it's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's like a fucking, 30-degree difference or whatever. 20 something. Yeah. James says his freezer doesn't go that low. I am all right with that, you guys. I am. It's I hate it when, and I mean, I fingers crossed, when it gets cold and windy, you never can tell, but it's when and we didn't have any real bad days last year where it got sub-zero temps and the wind was blowing at 35, 40 miles an hour, right? That shit sucks. Yeah, we got there. We lucked out with the snow, Putin. We did have finally. We had missed it for a couple days. Like south of us was getting pummeled for a couple days. Up north was getting pummeled, and then finally we got like 8 inches one night, and that stuck around but that was it. We got the wind switched to the right direction and finally started blowing that lake effect in on us here, but. Yeah, just a county south of me, they were getting beat up badly earlier in the week. James says he works with quite a few Americans in the winter. When I rug up, they are in shorts. When I rugged up, they are in shorts. In the summer, they are like, I'm cooking. Rugged up, I have not. I'm familiar with quite a few Aussie slang terms, and I've never heard that one. Rugged up. Yeah, Americans flip flops travel in the world. That's almost what it'd be like for me. Like I can't even go south in America. Not even in the winter. Too warm. Get out of here. You go on. You're just looking to get in trouble. You're all wound up because I fed you and let you out. Milk bottle leg. James says you can always tell the tourists on the beach with the milk bottle legs. Start of the day and lobsters by the end of the day. I remember my friend getting all fucking lit up and fucking passing out on the beach during the day. Fucking, he was fried. And we were all too drunk and stupid to realize what was going to be happening to him as he laid there. I'm sure half of us were burnt too. You guys, what are you doing? Go Hasselhout. Go on. Hey, don't be chewing cords. I'll sell your ass to the fucking butchers. Come on, buddy. Come up here. Can you jump up here? Come on. Come on. You guys don't know what to do. Now you're going to get all hyper. Jump up on my lap. Come on. Yeah, you're not going to. Yeah, 120 degrees. And what time were they out there, James? Like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right? I don't need to be tan. I like to get enough sun to keep my vitamin level up. My was it vitamin D? I mean, am I not wrinkly enough? Do I really need to be leatherizing my skin? So what do you guys got? What's new with you? I just thought, I'm just probably going to go ahead and remind just not that anybody needs reminding, but I'm just going to go ahead and probably keep the fact that Trump is already backtracking on his campaign promises, his mandates, right? His election mandate. And he's not going to bring grocery prices down. And though he hasn't spoke on it yet, he won't be bringing our energy prices down. And I know you guys know that. And you're probably gonna get sick of me hearing it, or sick of hearing me say it. But I'm gonna keep. I mean, look, the son of a bitch said he lied. Though, does it really matter? Like, I guess to be honest, if I was honest with myself, with you guys, I would say that Trump didn't need to make any campaign promises, did he? I'm not sure I've ever heard anybody. I know I haven't ever thought about it like that. But that's kind of I think that's kind of an interesting take, right? Trump could have probably, like, basically he could go out into Fifth Avenue and shoot someone and not lose any supporters, right? Like, he didn't really need. I mean, he didn't have any plans. He even said so. I think he had some concepts or something. Yeah, promises made, promises not kept. Exactly. There's Putin. There's not much we can do, right? Sometimes I know it gets annoying, brother, but seriously, it's just so fucking ridiculous, bonkers, right? That what else can I do? But I mean, I feel stupid even sometimes poking jokes at it because it's just so outrageous. It's just so fucking outrageous and so easy, right? There's no challenge at fucking showing what a fuck up Trump is, what a lying sack of shit he is. There's no challenge in that. But what else am I gonna do? I got 2 years to fucking get through until we have midterms. Yeah, he did. He said fast. That word specifically, human. Human says he did promise prices would go down fast. Faster than anybody, than the likes of anyone's ever seen, or however he puts that shit. James says he purchased a new IKEA desk for his office. Come spare room at home. Putin, later I will unpack and attempt to put it together. You may not see me for a year. James, Robert assembles IKEA. Oh, ragey. Putin says, I think he had to make promises that spoke to the common man just enough to push him over. Yeah, maybe, Putin, but seriously, dude. And I know you realize this. I'm not, I'm not talking down to you. It's, why was there, what could somebody like that, how could there be something that someone like Trump could say to sway some, I mean, it just seems like it's so divided. Like, it's just so clear who Trump is and what he is. It just is very hard for me to imagine that he has any honest supporters, right? Like, everybody knows what a fucking sack of shit criminal he is. And so I think there's a group of people that just said, I don't give a fuck what a sack of shit he is. I hate the left. so bad. I hate America, or I hate democracy, or I am angry about this unresolved issue from my childhood, or whatever. I don't know. I mean, because Trump is so extreme, it just seems, it's like the undecided voter thing late in the campaigns, right? Late in the 2024 campaign. Like, how could there be anybody undecided? Even if you think Harris was a lousy candidate, how could you, how could you think that Trump is worth considering at all? But yeah. Well, that's true. Putin says the division is the perceived, and I think that's a pretty key word there, perceived cultural stuff, right? Like Trumpers, and it not, to be fair, not all Trumpers, but are not just Trumpers. I'm sure there's folks on the left that are, you know, affected by the tribalism, or just don't don't get that 99, 95, 98% of us, 97% of us share a lot of the same concerns, and how we're unable to see that is beyond me. And I brought this up before. If you took and you polled the families, everybody in this world, all 8 billion people, 98% of us are gonna share the same top 3 of 5 concerns. I mean, that's huge. So what are we missing, right? How is it that we're just not finding common ground when we all just want our families, we want to be safe, we want to have work available that pays, something that we can live off from, right? And we want to be able to enjoy freedoms. So it's hard to understand how we're not able to see it or find common ground. Yeah. Cheers, A Bear. Good to see you, sister. Good evening. Cheers to you. I'm sitting here watching. Roxy's just fucking restless. She needs to go find something to do. There's nothing over there. There you go. Go see what Roscoe's barking about. Go see what Roscoe's barking. A Bear says she will not be listening to me as I'm watching The Princess Bride. You know what? I should be trying to figure out how. I've had them turned on from time to time, like the closed captioning thing. It's like, not necessary. Don't go through the extra trouble. Fine, whatever. How many, A Bear? Because I know you love me, and I love you back, and I know you'll be honest with me. How many times have you seen The Princess Bride? I've never seen it, but I'm gonna guess that you've seen it already. So I'm a little bit hurt. Yeah, happy holidays to you too, sister. We're getting there. I think A Bear reminded me earlier that we're like 10 days away from Christmas, and that's the end of it, right? And then I have New Year's Eve, or the New Year, right? And Mrs. V have an anniversary early in January, so. Roxy, go find something to do. You're distracting me. I'm gonna fucking lock you guys out of here in a minute if you can't behave. No, it's not time for me to pet you. The fuck off me. Goddamn needy ass dogs. These aren't my dogs. And look at what's going on here. You guys can't see them, can you? I don't think so. Maybe you see a nose every once in a while. I don't know. Yeah. P Dub says she's boycotting Christmas. Yeah, I just, I love James and A Bear both, but I've known them both for some time, and I've seen James promise the wombat, Santa wombat, though he has come up with some pretty quirky excuses. I think A Bear's been more than patient. At least send her a bottle of that good wine, James. Now he's going to be pissed. It's like, Jesus Christ, Troy, shut the fuck up. James says the Santa wombat refuses to live under a dictatorship. I couldn't even finish reading the comment. James says A Bear Santa Wombat refuses to live under a dictatorship. In his environment, he has a democratic voice. A Bear says she likes the holiday decorating. P-dubs, but I'm missing being 400 miles away from all the family drama. But I'm missing being 400 ways? Oh, yeah. Oh, you're too close now, A Bear saying. She's too close to the family drama now, I think is the deal. That's funny shit. Besides, did you see the Santa Wombat wasn't happy with the way Trump treated the Queen? All right, Putin, we'll be here, brother. We'll be here for a little bit. I'll be here for a little bit. P-Dub says she's looking forward to seeing Mom on Christmas Day. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, we really do. We do have the lurkers tonight. There's no doubt about it. Probably half a dozen Trumpers that aren't even blocked. I don't know. I'll just go fucking clear out my. I had to go clear out everybody but the ones that we removed today. Come on. I have a bunch of bullies. A Richard Stubble Dick. Some proud MAGA deplorable cult member. King Tide. King Tide got banned yesterday, huh? I didn't even realize that. Good for him. Oh, yeah, a whole shitload of bullies. I have a bunch of TV2s blocked. How cool is that? Couple Mrs. V's, a bunch of Mighties, a couple James, or that are banned from the channel, I should say. That's funny. humans going to the grocery store. Who needs anything? I'm going to hold on until this next BRB, and then I'm going to make a cocktail. B says, so-called ice cream, Montgomery Burns. B, I just hid the last ice cream sandwich in the freezer earlier because there was a whole box of them, and Mrs. V and the kid killed them. And I'm like, yeah, I love snacks, but I go in like phases. Like I used to be like always had to have some chocolate cupcakes like maybe daily. And this was a while ago, but and then I've been able to cut it down, and I didn't even I mean, there was a point where I'm like I there's no need for me to eat this shit. And it wasn't like I'd scarf out on chocolate or nothing, but I'm like, I just don't need the shit, right? And I've gotten to where I don't even crave it half the time anymore. So it was probably Monday night or something. It's probably been 5 or 6 days. I had Mrs. V bring me home some couple packages of those bite-sized candy bars. But it was probably weeks before that I did any snacks. I just sometimes I'll have like honey on a slice of bread or something if I need something sweet. But my cocktail or a coffee or a cocktail is always I get the sugar I need from that. Not that I need sugar. Patty Whacker says she's going to make a drink. Yeah, I'm going to hang. I just took a break. I'm going to try and sit here and yap with you guys for, I don't like being in and out. I got to stop that shit. I think back in the day when I was doing the protest streams, and it's like, fuck, I would sit here for fucking 5 hours before taking a break. And I'm like up every hour, but sometimes I have to at my age. Especially if I'm sitting here having a coffee or a coffee cocktail. It starts going through me because I drink water all day too. James says they'd replace their lemonade stands with squirrel stands. Abear likes to relax and think about what MAGA world would look like if all the people they can't stand were suddenly gone. Oh my God. It would... That's a house. That's not a world, Abear. That's a hellscape. That's like fucking... I imagine it. I don't know if there's any movies like this, but just like where everybody's a drone. Wasn't it wasn't the Body Snatchers, the original Body Snatchers movie like that, where everybody whose body had been snatched, they were just like completely emotionless? That's why I imagine a world of Trumpers, like invasion of the Body Snatchers. I like that. You guys got me thinking. Got my wheels spinning. Hey, Bear? I'll be writing you, sister, about you writing a script. Script? A-Bear says, I think they'd be surprised to see neighbors they like. Workers who keep their lives running vanished. A-Bear, what would they do without us? Seriously. Patty Whacker says she's hoping that she'll lose her appetite after it takes office. Yeah. Well, you won't. It doesn't matter, Patty, if you lose your appetite or not. You won't be able to afford to eat. I know that's probably not funny, is it? None of us will be able to fucking We'll all be living off a fucking Dave diet. B says the inbreed. I think they already have. I think they already are. I think that's the problem. I said that earlier. Like, I think that their fucking parents were too closely related in a lot of cases. Like, before the marriage. ABR says they're cruel as fuck. What they are doing with transgender, for example, is unthinkable. It's true. Yeah, there's a lot of different issues like what's going to happen to minorities, period, right? Like, you guys know I have my little sister-in-law is from China, was adopted from China when she was 2 years old. What's it going to be like her? Especially she lives in Florida, not the most non-racist fucking place. I mean, I suppose it's better than probably Texas or something, or Georgia. Georgia, they fucking track your ass down with shotguns in a pickup truck if you're black and jogging. Patty says a friend of hers is working on a fictional story about it. At its inauguration, Biden will show up with a bomb, maybe? Is that what? And let it fly when he shakes his hand. Oh my God. Am I reading that, your little abbreviation there, correctly? Oh my God, that's a pretty intense storyline there. Biden wearing an explosive vest. B says she lived in Florida or in Georgia for a year and hated it. Very racist and religious. Yeah. Yeah, I grew up pretty much with, my mom was born and raised up here, but my grandpa's side of the family was from Mississippi, and they're a large family. But obviously, I mean, I always received a lot of love. And I don't think, I seen the same kind of racist bullshit from them that I seen from my dad with my Dutch side of the family up here in West Michigan, right? Some stuff I look back on and go, just fucking gross. But I don't know what to say other than I don't condone that shit. But I seen it from my southern white family and from my northern white family. Woo! You guys had to hear Roscoe fucking bitching that time, didn't you? He gets irate. He does not like anything going on outside of our house, not on the road, not in the neighbor's yard, even if it's, on the close to the property line, even if they're in their yard. He can't have any of that shit happening. But as soon as something freaky happens, he's like cowering under my toes. Biden's last stand. Yeah, that's quite the storyline. All right, James, you be good. Get some work done, my brother. Peace and love to you. We appreciate you. James. The Santa Wombat, brother. Santa Wombat or a bottle of wine to A Bear. James or Abear says my trans niece does sound for a A-list traveling Grinch musical. We fear for her safety for travel reasons. Yeah, yeah, I can't imagine. I don't know what to say. It's disgusting, Bear. It really is. It's fucking gross. It's how do you get, how do you deal with that, right? Like you can't. Well, it's not. I mean, certainly they have more to worry about, but even any of you ladies, like right, like you just, and especially where I am, it's fucking redneck central out here, right? Redneck Trumper fucking central. It's like, man, these people are just in these white men are just fucking in I shouldn't call them men, but they're just emboldened. It's I don't know. I get a little bit primal in myself, and I know you guys don't appreciate that, but sometimes I just can't help it. It's like literally just want to pound some fucking heads into the fucking curb. I'm not. I know. All right, I gotta stop that. No more of that. B says 4 participants and 13 watching. Oh, yeah, they're glued, B. There's probably a couple of them that have their video recorder going, even though you can rewind my streams. Yeah, they're just waiting to catch me up on something, but as you guys know, TV has zero fucks to give. I've been at this long enough to know I'm not going anywheres. I don't fucking float no fucking bullshit on my channel. The only thing that might make people uncomfortable is I got a big mouth. Fuck them. A-Bear says, down to 3 in a few. Dinner is about ready. I'm trying to trying a Greek stew with tomato base with artichoke and calamari. Oh my God, A-Bear, that sounds insanely good. I love Kalamata olives and like feta cheese and that stuff. It's warm? That's weird. Now, I'm a little sketchy about the Kalamata olives in Kalamata, isn't it? Isn't it with a Kalamata? With in a warm soup or stew, but I love them. Oh my God. Those are the best olives in the freaking world. Artichoke hearts, great. Or artichokes, great. Tomato base, great. What makes it Greek? The olives in the artichokes, I guess. Or there must be some Greeky-ish. She's probably already gone. Here I am gonna pound her with questions, and she told me earlier she wasn't listening to me anyway, so she probably hasn't heard a thing I said. I'll bet you that's it. She's been sitting here chatting in text, but hasn't been. She warned me though. To be fair, that's my fault. You guys are a riot. To all my lurking fangirls and boys, come on and say hi. That's how Mrs. V listens to me too, with my audio off. All right, Patty Whackers, it's time. I'm gonna go down and make that cocktail. I won't be as long as I was last time. Give me like 5 minutes and I'll be right back up here. All right. You guys want to hear some shit? I don't know if the song is 5 minutes long. I'm giving it to you anyway. All right, I'll be right back. And I am back. A Bear says, TV, it's nice to see you laughing. And if you're still up when I get done eating dinner, I'll be back. I've already seen my favorite parts of the movie or favorite scenes. Yeah. Well, it's not hard to be happy with you folks around. And I mean that. I know sometimes maybe TV sounds a little cheesy, but I am who I am. Cheesy or not, it's all real. I mean, do you think I would do this shit if I didn't really appreciate you guys? I got to give Laura a shout out a second. I would share her stream, but man, she doesn't need all the fucking flack from some of the fucking idiots that are lurking here, right?
I am.
I asked her yesterday if she was doing if she was going to do a stream. Oh, maybe she said, yeah. But I know she was having problems with her camera or something for a minute. But anyways, I'm glad to see she's up. Patty says, I just figured something out. I got a bottle of Screwball whiskey for my birthday several months ago. I was told it was good whiskey to eat with desserts. I just put a shot in my tea with lemon, and my tea tastes like kind of sweet. What flavor? What does it have? This Screwball whiskey, Patty? Is it just like sweet? Is it just like a sweet whiskey? I was gonna say bourbon, but I'd probably get my ass chewed. It's two different things, ain't it? Or maybe, yeah, right? I don't know. I stick with the clear liquor. I stick with vodka. I used to drink rum years and years ago, but that shit's nasty. I don't know how now I think about it, it's like, how did I ever drink fifths of Bacardi at a time? So I don't know if I mentioned it last night, but like Patty Wacker says, Screwball. No, I tasted it when he first gave it to me, but it didn't taste sweet on its own. Right on. Like what is it? That nasty fucking cheap teenage but Southern Comfort. That stuff always was very. We used to get, and I don't even know if they sell half pints of booze anymore or not. Probably do, I suppose, in some areas. But we used to get, me and my buddy would always have my uncle, who's just 6 years older than me, right? Actually, I think when we were 14 or so, he was only 20, so his girlfriend and wife now would buy for all of us. So we'd each get a half a pint of Southern Comfort. And man, I don't know, it was somewheres around that time, 14, 15, 16 years old, I puked on the shit, and that was it. Done with that stuff. Human says, vodka is one of the things he just now got at the store. Well, cheers to you, brother. I have a super sweet, caramely Black Russian, and it's strong, and it's warm, and it's delish. God, they're just so good. I love them. They go down too quick, honestly. when was it? I don't know if I streamed Thursday night or not. Yeah, I don't know if I did. Maybe for a minute or Thursday afternoon. I can't recall, but I had a couple drinks that night, and that was the first time I've had more than 2 drinks, and I had 3 drinks. And it was over like fucking 8 hours or something, but it was like a half a fifth of vodka I drank in a night. It's really not that much, but it is for me nowadays. B says the moon is huge and very white. B, I don't know if it was. I think it was the night before last. Last night it started thawing after, like it was around 10 o'clock, 10:30 or something. I could hear the cars going by on the road was wet, so I knew the snow was melting. But it was the night before, or like 4 o'clock in the morning, directly west. You could see Venus and the moon right next to each other. It was all hazy from like this really fine crystally snow. It was beautiful. It was pretty bright outside. Patty says peppermint schnapps is what made me hurt as a teen. Can't. Yeah, it gives me heartburn. There were a few drinks like kamikazes. What is that? Triple sec, lime juice, and vodka or something like that, or it's just 3 ingredients. It's like triple sec, roses, lime, and some other booze like rum or vodka or something. God, that stuff would give me such bad heartburn. Oh, Human's doing a fucking a cold Black Russian, or a Black Russian with ice cream. So maybe a caramel Russian, a creamy Russian. Patty says Earl. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, too, like, thankfully, I never got into Mad Dog. We did Boone's Farm, right? Boone's Farm wine. God, even me and Mrs. V would drink that shit when we were younger. When we first got together, we would, like, on Sundays, we would get a half a dozen bottles of that shit. I'm not kidding you. Yeah, peppermint schnapps. There's a few, but like PM Deluxe, just dirt cheap whiskey, Heaven Hill rum or Heaven Hill rum, Heaven Hell. Yeah, I am. I don't know. I always drank rum and 7 Up was my go-to. Rum and 7 Up, or like Rolling Rock, Heineken. But it was a lot of rum back in the day, a lot of rum. And then when Mrs. V and I got together and I was in my mid-20s and playing in the bars, I would drink just about anything. No whiskey or anything, but yeah, any sort of mixed drinks, I didn't give a shit. A Wild Irish Rose, oh my God, my stomach's turning just hearing that. Yeah, well, the sugar doesn't probably help with hangovers at all. But like I've for years now I've avoided anything like any sort of carbonated mixed drinks. Like well, I like the Bloody Marys. Of course, TV has an awesome Bloody Mary recipe. And though I didn't do pina coladas not once this summer, I don't think. I like those. Other than that, it's just even in the summer, I drink Black Russians. I don't give a shit. Except for unless I'd be day drinking, which is rare. Patty says, she must say this screwball whiskey does taste good in my tea. It's sweet, but mellow sweet. I had a sip of some apple double distilled moonshine in September or something. I went out to the campground to see my friends, and he cracked a jar open that somebody had given. It was some homemade apple wine, I believe, that somebody had made, and it was clear, but then they double distilled it, so the strength had, to increase the strength. It was like, I don't know, probably about 70 proof. I think he said it was around 35-40% or something, so it was very good. I'm not usually into that kind of shit, but it was good. I couldn't drink a lot of it because the apple flavor would probably start to get to me, but this is really very encouraging, you guys. Like, I took such a long break in a sense. I mean, I don't know that I went more than 10 days without actually doing a stream after the election, but obviously I was streaming like mad a few times a day for months. But it's pretty encouraging that after the break I took, these streams are getting all the views they're getting more views than any of my on-cam streams were during or before, during the campaign or before, so it's cool. I like it. Just like to yap at folks. It's too bad some of them are too fucking sensitive and get all pissy because I might fucking call them out. It's like, I'll try. Any of you Trumpers out there have sensitive skin. I'll try not to fucking be throwing fire. But it's very hard, when you fucking go out there and, we support democracy here on the left. 100%. We accept the fucking results of the election. You folks, you Trumpers won the election. You coming out en masse and outvoting us now affects our life. So don't get all up in your feels if I'm not happy about your candidate being a complete miserable fucking failure. You know what I'm saying? I think you do. If you don't, you will, because get in the boat. We're all riding together now, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Grab a paddle and hold your nose, because we're fucking paddling up shit creek for the next goddamn 4 years. I only need a life preserver because if I go overboard, I just want to drown as quickly as possible. Seriously. We are all in the same fucking holy ass canoe paddling up shit creek, Trumpers. I hope you know that. If you don't, you will. You might not see us back here, you being way up in the front of the fucking boat. All right, I'll stop with all the silly analogies. But for fuck's sake, I can't take these people seriously. And then they get all pissed off when you fucking press them. It's like, look, I've had Trumpers tell me, I know Trump. All I do is I listen to Trump and his words, and I just pay attention. It's like, really? Well, then explain to me why he's fucking backing out of his number one or number two. And I know I keep calling election mandate because it's a joke. His fucking campaign promises. You can't. It's like, what the fuck are you afraid of being honest? You're not the fucking failure nominee. You just voted for him, or candidate, or president-elect. You just made it possible for us to have a fuck stick, or helped make it possible for us to have a fuck stick like him leading our country now. So why can't I ask you questions when you tell me you have all the answers and now all of a sudden you don't? A blue canoe? But it doesn't matter. Like James and Putin were talking earlier, they just don't give a fuck. It does not matter. And like I said a few minutes ago, Trump could have literally not have. He basically didn't have any sort of fucking campaign promises that were legitimate. He doesn't have a fucking any sort of plan for his administration whatsoever. He doesn't have any ideology other than pushing fascism and making his friends richer and protecting his own ass, right? I gotta be careful because I'm having fun and feeling good. And I'm disgusted to think that this son of a bitch and criminal that tried to overthrow our government, our vote in 2020, is now back in the White House. If for any of you Trumpers think I'm just angry and hateful, you need to fucking pull your fucking head out of your ass. You do not understand or know how many people that I have worked with or worked under that I couldn't stand, but they did a good job, right? Couldn't stand them personally. That's not the case. Trump is a complete and utter failure. He hates America. He hates what America is. Whether you want to admit it or not, he is all about pushing fascism. I don't give a shit what color skinned people he had donated money for parks or memorials or campaigns. I do not give a shit. It's all a fucking staged crock of shit. It's a big old fucking fuzzy piece of wool that he's giving you guys. He's not pulling it over your eyes. He's going, here, my fellow cult freaks, put this over your eyes. And you guys are like, oh, yes, sir. Patty Wacker says, this guy I've known forever just told me that I don't need to worry because it is going to make everything great. My brain almost... Patty, it sucks. I've taught my kids and I've told you guys how I feel, how I take things. And it's very tough. It's so fucking tough, especially for someone like me. And I'm not looking for sympathy. I am saying it's very tough because I know. And I have zero proof. And so me knowing doesn't mean a goddamn thing. And I get that. Me saying I know doesn't carry a motherfucking ounce of weight. I get that. But I know it's pure underlying fucking misogyny. It's fucking racism. It's a bunch of motherfucking white guys my age that are scared, and I don't get it. They're going to be fucking dead before anything major fucking changes. Jesus. Liars and Trumpers and groceries. Oh my. If anybody has any bridges to sell, I know where you can unload them. It's just madness. Absolute madness. So frustrating, Patty. And even though I have, I'm fine. It's a long ways to go. I don't know. Like, it makes me sick. Like, just a couple weeks ago, I was accused by somebody very close to us of not doing enough to help get Harris elected. I laugh, but it hurt for a second because I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I was accused of wasting their time. Oh, that's really frustrating. But I have to say, and it wasn't those comments, you know, that made me think, hey, I think it's obvious. There's always, as long as we're breathing, right, and we're able to keep from passing out cold, crashing out cold from exhaustion, then of course, there's probably something else we could have done as individuals, together, whatever. But certainly, I'm looking forward to doing what I can local. I'm looking forward to local elections, and I'm looking forward to doing what I can to turn out more folks. I'm looking to connect with some local officials that, I've mentioned before that I'd worked for in the past and just didn't before I was really got into politics so heavily. And so it's I am positive, that's for sure, and I'm thankful for that. There's things I can look at and go, this is shit we can do and work on, and it can make a difference. And the only other option is to sit with my fucking head in my hands and fucking whine, right? And we know that's not happening. I don't have any time for that bullshit. It's just such a slow process, and we have so much time. But I mean, there's a lot of work to do, but we have so much time. Every day is another day after January 20th. Every day is another day that we just don't fucking know what kind of madness Trump is going to put on us, right? So, or try to. I've seen a lot of encouraging things. The thing is, I guess at the end of the day, or the very, just kind of real simplified, my thoughts on it or concerns are that we have enough barriers in place that it's going to be very difficult for Trump to dissect, to what's the word I'm looking for? To kind of surgically remove our democracy, right? It's going to be very difficult because we have court systems in place. It's a very large country. It's going to take a lot of just complete madness. His only hope of like going complete fucking balls out bonkers is getting together a legitimate excuse that 51% of America would accept for some sort of martial law enactment. But other than that, it doesn't matter. Just the process of Trump trying to dismantle our democracy or just trying to get laws rewritten or changed to make us a more fascist country, that in itself is going to fucking hurt us bad. It's going to slow our economy down. It's going to hurt. It's going to kill jobs, right? It's going to it's going to create, really bad situations in our low income communities. You're going to see an increase in hospitalizations and suicide rates and depression. You're going to, and on top of that, we're probably going to see the social programs that address these issues gutted, So it's really going to be, I'm not so concerned, not that I'm not concerned, but I'm not so concerned with what Trump is going to be able to do to dismantle our democracy, because I don't think that's going to be able to happen, right? I also don't, Vance is just not a charismatic candidate. This will be it for Vance, right? Vance will not be elected in 2028, no matter how much the Trumpers might. I can't even imagine they're behind that son of a bitch, but whatever. That we have to look forward to, right? Like, if we can get through this 4 years and not have our country become a complete fucking third world fascist state, autocracy, kleptocracy, whatever. Either one is plausible under Trump. I think, we have some hope, right? We always have hope. Yeah, fuck Trump and the whore he rode in on, sure. You guys go over, for those of you who are part of Laura's crew, go over and give her some love. She's live. I'm not posting her link here because there's just too many fucking evil dipsticks that like to fucking hang around this channel. So that's, really, Human was the only one that kind of mentioned it. The 25th, that was something that me and Retzi had talked about. I think, and not like I've got my finger on the pulse of society more than anybody else, right? Or at all. I'm just saying that there's been very few people that I've actually, because maybe it just seems a little outraged, I can sit there and fucking push buttons and be a complete smart ass, right, about and just spew bullshit. Not necessarily as fucking news, right? Just poking at the whole fucking Trump clown show. But it's something that I do take serious, or do think is a real possibility that, Vance, look, there's just no doubt. Trump is not very bright, you guys. He is so fucking self-absorbed and self-centered and confident, overly confident. You guys seen it. He does not give a fuck what anybody else thinks, right? And so he is not paying attention to what's going on around him. He doesn't even consider if he could be stabbed in the back by Vance. Even though Trump knows in his heart, and I've said, and another one of those things, just never be able to prove, Trump wanted nothing. He doesn't hate Vance maybe, but he doesn't have any respect for him. Trump wasn't going to have any respect for any of any possible running mate, right? But what I'm saying is that Vance wasn't fucking someone Trump wanted as a running mate. They talk, I don't know what to say. If it's I can only imagine who Trump would have had picked or wanted himself. We didn't really hear of any other white male candidates, did we? I'd have to think about it for a minute. Trump was never going to pick a woman. He was never going to pick a fucking minority, a fucking brown-skinned fella or a black-skinned fella or, right? He was never going to pick an Asian or a Mexican or, Asian American, Mexican American. And he was never going to pick anybody but a fucking white male for his running mate. I mean, I don't really think I brought that up very much because it just seemed pretty, it just seems obvious, but. Putin says clown, bought and paid for. Yeah, well, that's exactly it. But I think, Putin, as you probably know much better than me because I know you follow this shit, but like the Peter Thiel and, you have to, and I'm not talking to you specifically, brother, but, folks have to understand the culture of this shit, right? Of these Silicon Valley, tech freaks, right? They see Trump as a fucking grandpa. Plain and simple. Trump is so... I am shocked that Trump knows how to use his fucking phone. I think of me at 54 and how I do what I do here with these streams and the computers and shit, and still how much that just is over my head, right? Are you fucking kidding me? Vance is fucking younger than me. They look at Trump as grandpa. Trump is fucking senile grandpa to these sons of bitches. And it's that whole Silicon Valley kind of tech culture. You can bet that Vance and Elon are having their own conversations that don't involve Trump. There's just no doubt about it. Tech bros, yeah. Is that what he said? Yeah. Tech bros, I like that. Yeah. Oligarchy time. Exactly. That's Putin. That's really, you're dead on, right? This is, and isn't that, because I'm always learning, but isn't that kind of the premise of kleptocracy is that you have these, it could be a mix, right, of autocracy and kleptocracy. You have these uber wealthy folks that are going to, within our system, try and change laws to gain more power, or they're just, they're going to use money to gain more power, or they're going to change laws to gain more power, or try to. And so and they have the funds. There is no doubt we have American oligarchs, if that's, however you want to label it. And I don't disagree with Putin's statement on it or his labeling of it at all. I think it's right on the fucking money, so to speak. See what I did there? Right on the money. I don't think it's any surprise to anyone that we are our elections and officials are heavily influenced by money. I have been someone who's bitched about corporate lobby groups for a very long time. It just seems like we're always fucking busy with a lot of other fucking bullshit that we shouldn't be, and we don't get to talk about that stuff. And it's not that anybody's preventing me from talking about it. I'm just saying that it just seems there's only so many hours in a day. Yeah, Putin says we are watching the looting of America in slow motion. FDIC ending it is. I know, brother. It's gonna be, me and Pat were yapping about it before you got back on. It's like my hope, my kind of calmness right now is based on that. It's going to be very difficult for Trump or Vance and Elon to dismantle our democracy. I'm not saying they're not going to do a lot of damage, but it's going to be very, very difficult. We have a lot of barriers in place. But that doesn't mean that there aren't other routes, like Putin's suggestion with the, all the fucking money that the tech bros have, American oligarchy. Yeah, P-Dub says we are watching the looting. IDC is insane. Putin says the traditionalism of kleptocracy, the concept that the rich knows what's better for us exactly, or best for the people. And that's Elon's stance. Elon is, I think anybody rational, I'm not sitting here afraid to say Elon is an incredibly intelligent person and he's going to do some good things and he's done some good things. But I think he having any sort of influence on our government is a huge, huge negative. Just a massive fucking negative. Like the guy, and if you want me to say, just look at his goddamn personal life, that's enough. That's enough. Like, I'm not asking you guys to fucking have someone like me having as much influence as Elon, even though you might be safer with a fucking wound up motherfucker like me than someone like Elon, because he has a whole shitload of money, and that's power, right? Patty Wacker says they want to replace the dollar with crypto. It's like backing a truck up to the Federal Reserve. Actually, I said that, and yeah, I know, Patty. I'm sorry. I'm very blurry. I get P-dubs and Putin right on top of each other. Yeah, Patty said, made the comment about the FDIC, and it is insane. Human says Donald Trump himself called crypto a scam against the United States dollar. Yeah, too, we've seen some of the Trumpers just be like, I guess they haven't necessarily came out and said they support BRICS, but we've seen these motherfucking assholes like King Tide say, we need the United States dollar to crash. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Oh, sorry, but Jesus. How is that? How are these motherfuckers like that, my age, raised in middle America, right? Just middle class America. How the fuck can you, how can you go to American schools in the 70s, 80s, American public schools, and come out with that unless you have been completely fucking corrupted and indoctrinated, and not by our public schools, but by fucking madness conspiracy theories? You are a weak-minded son of a bitch if you think that the U.S. dollar needs to crash for our country to improve. For fuck's sake, you guys. Thanks, P-Dubs. TV misread the post. I did. Human says, yep, Trump coin is a thing. Yeah, that's no surprise. Oscar, welcome to the stream. This randomly came through my feed. Well, welcome. I don't know. We get a little intense here, but yeah, welcome to the stream, Oscar. Putin says this isn't a new thing with the wealthy wanting the levers. Of course not. A power to write the laws in their favor. Absolutely not. Not new. P-Dub says, no, it's not new, Putin. But it's new that the guardrails seem to be missing. Well, the guardrails are gonna be under attack, Patty. That's for sure, sister. Putin says Trump talks out of both sides of his mouth. He claims that he will hurt any countries that are trying to devalue the dollar, BRICS, while at the same time pushing agenda for those who paid for it. Yeah. And just one more point on Elon. He has about $3 billion worth of government contracts, and the son of a bitch talks about fucking smaller government. Just a little side note. Oscar says, thanks. What's the channel about? Channel's just about life, brother. Just about whatever concerns we have here for humanity. Not just America, but doing better by each other all the way around the world. And when most of us, Oscar, I think about this a lot. It's like I take a lot of pride in being American in the sense that it's a responsibility. And not that I put that responsibility on myself or on us as Americans, that's how we are seen. So that means we have to take responsibility. We have to. When people look up to you, whether you want it or not, you have some sort of obligation. I'm not saying you have to follow through or that you're a bad person if you're not able to somehow include these folks or always keep them in mind, right? And I'm saying others outside of our country. But I think if we can take that, I think we have to take on that responsibility, and for the most part we always have, with a lot of humility, right? And so that's kind of what this channel is about, is it's not just about American politics for me, and I think those who hang out with me know that. But this is where it starts with us. This is where those of us who are Americans, this is where we have to start if we want to make any sort of positive impact on how can we, what the fuck can we do, Oscar, for anybody else right now when we have a leader like Trump or about to have a leader like Trump in our country, right? We got our hands full. It's very hard for us to criticize anybody else. It's very hard for us to say, hey, we can fucking help your ass out. Look what we do here. Don't look what we're doing here. Get out of trouble, girl. Oscar says, let me catch up with you. Putin says there are 400 federal agencies in the bureaucracy, 2 million federal employees, and states have about 18 million in it. Good luck dismantling it at a fast speed. Right, Putin, and that's the only thing I've been hanging on to, brother. And I've said just that. It's like, look, and I know I understand Patty's concerns about the guardrails that we have in place and barriers, but it's going to be very difficult, a long, tedious process for Trump to try and dismantle that, and he's not going to succeed in that 4 years. And Putin, I don't know if you caught this before you came in or when you came in, if I said it after you got here, before you got back, but I don't see even the Trumpers voting for Vance in 2028. I don't know. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. But I understand your concern, Patty, but without a doubt, the guardrails and barriers are going to be under attack. But to Putin's point, it's going to be a very long, tedious process for him to make any sort of headway. But like I said, referring to that earlier, him doing that is going to have a lot of ripple effects on our economy, on our jobs, on our confidence, right? So, and that's the tough part. I think that's the tough part. Oscar says, hasn't America always done that? I guess we've always tried. I am not a Trump fan, and it's not about because he's a Republican. He is one of the worst fucking Americans and one of the worst human beings. Like I have said over and over, and I'll probably stick by it the rest of my days, Trump is, to me, like a John Wayne Gacy, a Ted Bundy, Charles Manson. He just didn't go around doing freaky fucking murders, you know? Not like in person. Yeah, well, exactly. I thought I had that in the title. I didn't. I thought I had that in the. Oh, I had it in the Putin. I don't know if you caught the poll. Probably. Yeah, it's not. To Putin's point, right? And it's not that I've given up on that. My focus is 2026 for sure. I mean, we have to. I don't know. I'm shocked. Still pretty taken back by what happened this election. I'm not. I'm not so shocked that Trump won as I am the low turnout from the left. But whatever. Yeah, 2026, brother. Human says our enemies love Trump, and our allies are for sure not laughing, without a doubt. Patty says, according to Project 25, 2025. They are going to free a shit ton of people and replace them. Fire a shit ton of people and replace them with people that have already vetted. Oscar says he's not that political. No worries. We get into some other stuff too. I mean, earlier it was a little bit more lax conversation and topic, but Putin says they have 2 years' time to take out the ACA, and knocking 45 million people off health care won't be fun for rural Americans. Right on. Yes, sir. As far as Vance in 2028, Americans tend to be lukewarm with VPs. Well, not just that. I don't think. I mean, I don't know. It's, I only have one view, brother. That's why I ask you guys' opinions on it. I don't see, and it's not just because I think Vance is a fucking dickweed. He's just not. Like, and I don't even give a fuck about. I don't feel like I'm influenced by charismatic. I don't give a fuck. I see through that kind of shit. Maybe because I'm pretty animated myself, so I'm not fooled by anybody that, and it's not that I'm fake. I'm just saying I'm animated. You guys know that. No surprise. No mystery, but Trumpers do need some sort of fucking cartoon character to cling on to. I don't know. And also, like you said, that VPs aren't very, are never really all that popular or hot. We seen that, right? Just in November. Oscar says he's a rural American, but does not have health care. I don't know if I'm rural America. I am. I live outside of a big city. I don't live in a big city or even all that near one. I mean, 45 minutes away from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I don't have health care either, Oscar. Some of that's my choice. It's not. It's just my age and current health. The cost is. I'm buying time. Hopefully not ignorantly. Putin says, given the reaction of support for Luigi Manigoni, I probably slaughter his name, recent murderous rampage, they might want to rethink their aspirations to take it. Yeah, that's a good point, Putin. I didn't think about it that way. Like, and I know you, brother, in the same, I haven't even commented, I don't think, on that whole situation at all. It's not a surprise. Obviously nobody condones what this nut job did, but it's no surprise when people are just completely deflated and left without any sort of options. And even though that doesn't seem to be the case with this guy, still, it's disgusting, right? There's people out there without, like Oscar, without health care, and you got this CEO making $11 million a year, $1 million a year salary, and like $10 million a year bonus, I think it was. Oscar says Michigan has got to be cold about now. Yeah. Well, I'm not too bad right now. It's still 38 degrees, but we was cold as shit the last couple days. But yeah, I got until about sometime in March, Oscar. I'm going to be a little chilly. Yeah, it's a whole big shit show that's going to come down, right? Putin in a lot of different ways. Like that's, I mean, you're hitting on one thing that just another fucking really crazy factor, you know. Yeah, it's going to be a shit show in a lot of ways. Patty says everything froze overnight last night, but it warmed up a little bit today. P-Dub says the ice on the trees looked pretty. Yeah, I had one of those moments a couple days ago. Like, shit, it started, snowstorm started warm, right? And then we got those fucking Arctic temperatures, so everything was, all the trees were covered nicely. Oscar says, TV, what do you do for a living? Mostly landscaping for myself, but I do pretty much whatever I can. I do a little bit of work for one of my friends who owns his own construction business, and he usually helps keep me a little bit busier in the winter, especially like this. Like I'll be cleaning up his construction sites, like getting rid of the snow and that stuff when it's warm enough for him to get back to pounded nails. I try not to do any snow removal myself anymore, other than I have a couple commercial accounts that I do their storefronts, but I can't stand it. I mean, I don't mind that stuff, but the days and nights and mornings of plowing when I worked for a company was just so not fun. How about you, Oscar? And whereabout do you live in rural America? I mean, not to be nosy, we like to be friendly around here. Oscar says, "Oh, so not much of anything." Man, I tell you, I'm gonna hang tight for a little bit longer, but yeah, I don't know what you mean, dude. No, I just told you I do landscaping for myself in the summer, and I work for a buddy in the winter for the most part. You drive a truck? Do you have another account, Oscar, by the name of Curly One? Oscar thinks. Oscar, do you think I need to punch a time clock to be a legitimate, respectful person, or it's not much? You can come out and fucking throw some retaining stones around with me if you want sometime, Oscar. Some 18-inch retaining stones, and tell me that ain't much. I knew there was something up with Oscar. He was just waiting to get his shot in on me. My feed doesn't show up in people's. My streams don't show up in people's feeds randomly. Probably not very often. Do I look like a slacker, Oscar? Putin says Larpyville. I think you nailed it, brother. I think that's it. Dude, I Putin, you know me, brother. I try to be, because sometimes, I'm wrong. There's no doubt about it. I've been wrong. Usually, God, I can just read these motherfuckers straight away. I don't know. Oscar is either Curly or King Tide or some other moron. Yeah, but I don't understand how you came to that conclusion by me saying I do landscaping for myself, or you know, I say landscaping. It involves in all kinds of different shit, from tree work to lawn maintenance to installs, and yeah. I don't know, Oscar. Maybe I'm reading you wrong. You're still here. You can keep on typing. Yeah. Well, it's just weird that he would think that it means getting by without much. I am not rich. I live a pretty humble life, but I work hard. Yeah, exactly. Whatever it takes, you have to. I like it like that though. Like it's nice having my, I had to do the fucking 9 to 5 in a sense thing, right? For the last 30 years, or well, it's been 30 years, almost 30 years with my wife. We've raised 5 kids. There was a time it was just nose down, chin up, right? Nose to the grind, chin up. Nose down, chin up. It don't have to be like that anymore. And I'm thankful for it. I mean, that's why we did what we did when we did, because hoping that we would, even though we're not well off, we don't have any debt, we own our home. So yeah, it's nice to be able to kind of be a gig person in a sense, even though I do have stable accounts and all that shit. Oh, I wouldn't assume that you were rich. Oscar's a curious one. You guys, I'm trying to refrain. Let's go see what do you got? How long you been around on YouTube, Oscar? Let's see this. Well, Oscar joined in 2020. Oscar, what was your thoughts on the January 6th, the failed coup attempt that was orchestrated by Trump on January 6, 2020? Was that when you joined YouTube, period? Is this another account? I mean, I have a few accounts. I'm just curious. You are rich in friends, P Dubs. Well, we're rich in friends with because we know you, patty whackers. Why are you dogs so needy? You were serious that I randomly came across your feed? Well, that's good. I'm sorry well, I apologize if I read you wrong. I'm not sure that I have. I don't think I'm all that sensitive, but certainly I'm always on high alert. I have a lot of folks that don't care for us here. So anyways, yeah. And we don't get a lot of people that just come in and say, "Hey, I mean, because I look at my analytics quite a bit, and half my views are from subs, half my views are from people searching out whatever it may be that I have in my title. So it is a little bit rare that someone would just get that my stream would be suggested to them, not doing any sort of keyword search or anything like that. It is pretty rare because I'm not a very big channel. Oscar says January 6th, if someone committed a crime, they should be in jail. I don't think Looky Looks should be. Yeah, I think that I think most of us probably agree with that. If I can translate your looky looks statement there, I'm assuming that you mean that not all the people that just kind of filed into the Capitol grounds late should be, you know, charged with whatever the most extreme charges were. I don't think anybody was hit up with insurrection, but sure, I can. It's all about one case at a time, right? Each case is individual, right, Oscar? I don't. I'm pretty sure. I mean, maybe out of whatever, maybe Putin would know this. We all look to Patriot Pete for some of this information. He's our guru when it comes to the J6 arrests and convictions. And I think it's over 1,000 people now, 1,100 or something. And they keep happening. In fact, I seen Pete post Thursday or Friday, two more folks, one in New York that had been finally tracked down and arrested for their participation in January 6th. I'm not sure there was anybody on the Capitol grounds that shouldn't be charged with maybe trespassing, because I don't know how it works, Oscar, is what I'm getting at. Like, I don't think there was any time there was any time that day that the public was allowed to be on the Capitol grounds, right? So that's a tough one. I mean, I think that anybody going in there, whether you want to call them looky looks or not, or whatever kind of soft label you want to give them, I mean, they weren't. Look, how do I put this? I'm not doing myself any favors if I'm hanging out with a group of 5 of my friends and 3 of them walk 100 feet away from me and start trashing this car. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. Like, I don't think that's okay. I don't think I have any reason to be a witness to that unless I want to say, look, you got to fucking stop. Don't be fucking busting in this car. You know what I'm saying, Oscar? I'm trying to handle you with kid gloves, my buddy. See, Putin kind of follows up on what I was saying there. A good many were misdemeanor charges with trespassing. So, and I think that there shouldn't be anything less than that. I can't imagine, again, Oscar, with what Putin, and you can trust Putin. I am not okay with anybody going on the Capitol grounds that day and not being charged with at least trespassing, in which I believe, and I don't know for sure, but my guess is, and it just seems obvious to me. That's why I haven't ever looked into such a fucking kind of basic question is, was anybody from the public allowed on the grounds that day? My guess is no. They broke through. I think they crashed gates to get in there from way back, right? So yeah, no looky looks. I mean, if you step foot on that ground, look, and 2, Oscar, you have to understand in America that ignorance of the law is no excuse. And trust me, I don't fucking know all the laws. So I could very easily get into trouble at some point in my life unintentionally, right? Without any ill intentions. But that's where the sentencing comes in. The judge will say, well, what kind of intent was there? This person may say, I was just a looky look. I did not know that we were unable to step foot in that gate. They might get a light sentence. They should still get a sentence. If they were let in. What a fucking dick. Jesus fucking Christ. I would, if they were let in. Oh, I don't feel like going through video footage to find the fucking people. You don't think that at some point those Capitol officers in some of the sections, Oscar, you ever been to the Capitol? The Capitol building, you realize the size of that fucking facility? When you look at those Capitol officers having the living shit beaten out of them, a few of them murdered, and you think that some of these Capitol officers in other sections of the grounds might have been like, we're fucked, we need to figure out how to handle this, in a fucking single one or two Capitol officers standing at a doorway facing down fucking 2,000 motherfucking maniac Trumpers, you don't think that's a good decision to go ahead and move aside or lose your life? What are you doing, Oscar? Son of a bitch. Really, dude? What do you guys think? Are you guys done with this piece of shit? I am. I've had enough. Oscar, I want you to know you did nothing but fucking prove what a fucking absolute fucking skid mark on society you are. It's not a joke to me, dude. It's just really disgusting that as the time goes by, our the intensity of that day lessens, even for those of us who give a shit. All right, Patty. I love you, sister. Be good. Patty's going to jam for a bit. Hey, Bear. Cheers to you, sister. Welcome back. I hope the stew was good. I don't know, human. I don't know, man. I don't know how you can say anybody was let in that day. I don't know, man. It's not just a different opinion. I think it's a fucking twisted, passive aggressive crock of shit. I don't think Oscar has, and look, I'm not afraid of being wrong, whatever. It would suck that if I sat here and beat up on Oscar and I was completely wrong, and I don't give a fuck if I'm completely right. I think it's very hard to say people were let in anywheres that day as if it was an excuse or some sort of rational. It made it okay, right? I don't know, whatever. I'm sick of those fucks. And again, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm what do you call that? Maybe I've been negatively affected by all the stupid assholes that made light of January 6th, and so I just can't tolerate anybody fucking act. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. Why am I missing? What am I missing about Oscar? I think he's just a passive aggressive fucking dickweed. No, I think it was someone that was just plain stupid, A Bear, but I don't know. Human and Putin, who I love and trust, I would absolutely go against my own feelings if I had those two saying something different. And, I don't know. Maybe they're just being given the benefit of the doubt. That's what I love about them. Putin says, I agree. it's an ignorant perspective to not be able to see the officers were overrun by the crowd size and had to walk away in different locations. Yeah, I mean that's my guess, Putin, is that in that moment, right? Like they are extremely patriotic people, but there is going to be hopefully not, but I'm going to say if there's ever, I mean, when people get into, any human gets it, no matter how strong they are, for fuck's sake, even people, and you can just look at all the different scenarios, whether it's a soldier captured in war and then tortured, right, for information, whatever it is. There's a time, I'm assuming, at least for most of us, except for those really, really strong-minded folks, right, that we make Navy SEALs out of or whatever, it's personal survival at some point. It really is. It's personal survival at some point. And I know, we talk about tribalism, and you can say, well, let's make America great again and protect America, and then, well, maybe it would be a silly kind of smaller circle with states, but then counties, but really the circles start coming down to family, right? And then what? You know what I mean? How small does the circle get? It gets to one individual, doesn't it? And that's what those officers were facing is they weren't cowards. They stood up as patriots far more than a lot of folks, far more than any fucking Trumper could have, right? And then they had to decide if they wanted to die that day or not. Do you let people come in and smear some shit on the walls of the Capitol, or do you prepare yourself to die? I mean, it's fucking stupid. Human says, we could have fact at him. Police started just letting them in later on, but that was after windows had been broken, right? And in through, they realized they were outnumbered, and then they directed the third wave, correct, away from trouble, right? Putin says, yes, I do like it, A-Bear. Sebastian, A-Bear and Putin must be, Human says the Confederate flag being waved by the party of Lincoln is hilarious to me. Right. But to be fair, it's not the party of Lincoln, is it? I mean, Trumpers are not the party of Lincoln. But I get what you... Clearly, your point hit hard. Putin says TV, it's all right. I get it. You're tired of listening to the J6 Defenders bullshit. I am. And to think, brother, that some of these bastards could be pardoned, it's another one of those tough things, right? That we might have to fucking face. You know? It's, yeah. You know why, dude? Because I've been more than open with you guys about what an imperfect human I am, and some of the troubles that I've brought upon myself in life. And I look at that and go, that shit did nothing but fucking help me. And so I am not an angel, and I am all about being is understanding to give people the benefit of the doubt, our fair and balanced justice system to the best that it can possibly be. It's sick. It's pretty hard. It's disgusting. I don't have like any sort of like, hey motherfuckers, I had to go to jail for some really stupid shit, and here you are crying about spending time in or the right wants to fucking martyr these people. God damn it, you guys, does it not seem surreal at times? Like, this is where we're at? Am I, and I am, you guys know I'm a high strung person. I mean, I'm not nobody's ever said TV, you're just fucking over dramatizing the seriousness of it. I don't think, does it not seem surreal? This is where we're at in 2024 in our country. It's weird. It's like I'm sitting outside of it watching it. It's fucking strange. Abe Air says, personally, I'm just tired of the upside down of MAGA. Yeah, it's getting very hard to process as reality, right? Bear, it's just so fucking far out there. I don't know. I mean, it's not like we haven't all seen really crazy conspiracy shit and groups of people that are fucking bonkers, right? And you can do cults, whatever cults, because Trumpism is, MAGA is a cult. But at this fucking level and size and scale is, I think, what's new, right? I mean, maybe one of you guys could give me an example of something that's other than I suppose, like, but even Hitler's rallying against the Jews in Germany, and in the mid 30s, and that wasn't even the size of what we're seeing, right? Finished Abear's comment. She says, victory COVID vaxes are bad. Inserting your finger into your unwilling woman isn't rape. It's just endless bullshit. It is. But let's believe in UFOs and med beds. Right. It's hard not to be angry some days. And I'm not mostly. I'm not. Even if I get on a fucking rant for a second, I'm fine. I don't, you know what, you guys, is much, whatever kind of bullshit we all have to go through from day one of our lives, right? Childhood with imperfect parents or whatever it is. I've always been, even though maybe I'm pissy about shit, I'm always at least a glass is half full guy. If not, the glass is just too big or whatever for the amount of liquid. Because there's always an option. But I really feel like right now we are just prepare for 2026. Which is a lot to be done, or, a lot of things to consider, and then not over fucking think it, right? Like, we just have to, we just have to be human, and I don't even begin to have an answer, as you can see. So that's what's been hard for me is no matter how fucking tough at times Mrs. V and I have ever had, or you know, there's always something you can focus on that you know is gonna move you out of that. And I don't see that right now, you guys. And I'm not trying to be a downer or anything. You know that. I mean, other than the 2026 elections, and plus just keeping on and being positive and encouraging each other and saying, look, we're not fucking rolling over. The sun's coming up tomorrow, but it's, man, shit's limited. Thanks, Putin. I'm going to save that, brother. Give me a second. I got to make sure I save this in a text file. Sweet. Thanks, Putin. Yeah. Uh, I love that. Honestly, that was pretty inspiring the other day. I think, Putin, you were in the White House chat when uh, Pete had posted that fella from New York. I don't know if he said, I think maybe he just said he was arrested, so he has to go, and I don't know what exactly the charges were. That's fucking awesome. That shit boosts me. It's like, here we got this cocksucker getting ready to be sworn in about 30 days. And, saying that he'll pardon a bunch of these anti-American fucks. And Pete just still, and not just Pete, reminding us of it, but you know, law enforcement out there still picking these people up right up until January 20th. Yeah, that's good stuff. 1,400 cases. See, I was kind of guessing earlier. I said something like 1,100 because I didn't know. Yeah, that's been honestly, it almost feels like they've really been rounding up a lot of them, right? More recent, like this last year. And I can't be sure, Putin, but I want to say that we are only at maybe it was convictions. Yeah, you're saying 1,400 cases. I want to say sometime, probably about a year ago now, I think Pete was saying something about 700 and some convictions at that time. About this time last year, maybe. Yeah, exactly. A-Bear says, I love the law still getting them. Yeah, that's really cool. It is. I mean, like I said, because Trump's getting ready to be sworn in, and he's saying that he's going to pardon a bunch of these folks or whatever, and they're still out there rounding them up. It's kind of cool. It's good. Should be. I felt like I kept it together for so long, you guys, and though I'm not ashamed or embarrassed, I need to be strong for myself. I think I can be a much more, I think we can get better conversations going on if I don't fucking lose my shit. Not that I lost my shit. It's just, sorry. I don't want to sit there and sound like a fucking needy ass bitch. I appreciate you guys' understanding. And I know you understand. It really does turn my stomach some days. Bear says she's going to send me one of her favorite tourist photos from DC, and she can put it on I can put it on the Chan. I absolutely will. Putin, yeah, I was hearing a little bit about. I knew that they were getting close to figuring out or going through the process of getting rid of him. Putin says that President Yoon of South Korea has been impeached. So then they removed him. I don't know how close. I know that I believe their government is set up very, very, very close to the way ours is, right? With just a few different things. Like they actually gave the Congress maybe a little bit more power there. They're still protesting out there in Georgia, Putin says. Tbilisi. I was watching that. I don't know why I got hung up on the Kamal, Kamal 18 channel. It's just some sort of like I subbed to him. I mean, the chat was good. It was a nice mixed chat during those protests, so that's why I ended up on that channel. Even though I think they might have just been copping Reuters stream or something, or AP. Some of the posts that I've then gotten notifications from that Kamal 18 channel is just out there. It's out there. But yeah. Human says, I'm a little afraid of what Patel and Bondi are going to investigate and what they won't. Right. Human, I think that, well, for one, no matter, of course they're going to probably do some witch hunts, but if there's no crimes, there's no crimes, right? So, but it sucks. They're going to ruin people's lives. I agree. Putin says, TV, the first impeachment attempt failed, but then a bunch of people protested and they held a second impeachment. Right on. So now Putin impeaching them, though, does it work the same way it does here? Like, an impeachment just means our House of Reps saying that it needs to be tried in the Senate, right? Is it similar there? So they still have to go through a trial, or is he out? And I don't mean to pound you with questions, brother. I can look that shit up. I myself too, for sure. Human says could be impeached for the documents thing. Oh, Bill says, well, we know South Korea's parliament can overrule a president's declaration of martial law. Right. U.S. lacks that, so I'm going to say a difference there. Right. Bill, that's exactly it. That was the only difference, but I don't, and it's only because I only gathered, literally a couple hours of information about this, how the South Korean government worked during that time, right? That short 6 hours of martial law. I think that's a kind of a nice another check, right? And check and balances and power that South Korea has with that God, what's it called? Anyways, but like right now with our government, it wouldn't make any difference. Bear says, here's a fun fact. Every day for over a week, I've asked a random MAGA what the ideal world under Donald J. Trump would look like, and not one that could answer right, because they don't know. Bear, oh my God, it's really been disgusting. Like, they just are like, we don't even care about any. I've seen some people that, I won't mention the names anymore, folks you've all talked to. It's like, we don't care. We just are supporting whatever Trump wants. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I don't even fucking, Mrs. V and I do not even have that sort of relationship. We just do not support each other blindly over everything. We don't fucking work against each other, but you know what I'm saying? Oh my God, you guys, my eyes are getting so bad. I have to fuck off. It's been like 3.5 hours. This is the kind of stream I wanted to do, though. We gotta get on this more. I have to get on this more. Putin says President Yoon will fight it in court now, but the people don't want him. Right. So regardless, even if he's able to stay in power, they'll just vote him out. Parliamentary system is designed to reduce central power of a president or king. Right on. Human says, I'm going to start asking too. I will report back to you in a few weeks or so. Bill says, Bear, that their ideal is chaos and strife. Right. I've mentioned this before. It's like I know people very close to me that are not happy unless they're miserable. Putin says, yeah, Bill, South Korea hadn't seen martial law in 45 years. It was long shot for President Yoon to pull that a long shot, right? Bear says, married for 40 years. I hear you on that. Right on. You guys, I love you. What a great handful of folks to end this stream with. I'll see you guys soon. You know I will, all right? Be good. I love you. Peace and love. TV2 out.